Drug trafficking, torturing civilians, hiding documents from the government. 17 cases, 6 layers. This is the ultimate and bizarre CIA iceberg. I made this iceberg myself, and it contains the secrets that the CIA hides from the public. You'll be shocked to see how little you know about this world and how deep the secrets of these agencies go. Tip of the iceberg. Starting off with the tip of the iceberg, Project Blue Book, a shocking revelation of extraterrestrial encounters, government secrets, and a quest for truth that transcends the limits of belief.
Washington International was picking up UFO returns. People were reporting sightings of strange lights in the sky.
The project's code name masked a multifaceted mission to analyze and explain the numerous UFO sightings that captured public attention and potentially posed a national security threat. The project's endeavors, led by Dr. J. Allen Hynek, were geared towards mitigating potential panic while unraveling the mystery surrounding unidentified flying objects. Amid the tensions of the Cold War, the surge in UFO sightings fueled concerns within the US government. Project Blue Book was born out of the need to manage public perceptions and shield citizens from potential anxiety caused by the unexplained aerial phenomena. Over the years, Hynek's perspective evolved as he delved into the investigations. While the project aimed to dismiss many sightings as misidentifications or natural phenomena, Hynek acknowledged the existence of genuinely unexplained cases, leading him to develop a classification system that included the category of unidentified. What started out as a mission to deny the existence of these aerial mysteries turned out to head in the opposite direction. Project Blue Book compiled an extensive database documenting 12,618 sightings of unidentified flying objects. Among these cases, 701 remained unexplained, highlighting the enduring mystery surrounding certain sightings. The project faced criticism for its approach, with skeptics arguing that it leaned towards debunking rather than conducting thorough and impartial investigations. The project officially concluded in 1969 with the conclusion that further UFO investigations were unlikely to yield significant scientific advancements. This closure marked the end of the US government's publicized efforts to investigate UFOs until more recent revelations in the 21st century. Despite its closure, Project Blue Book left a lasting legacy. The unresolved cases and the skepticism surrounding the project fueled ongoing public fascination with UFOs and government secrecy. It played a significant role in the UFO craze that was about to follow. Project Azorian. Locked in the clutches of utmost secrecy, this audacious venture kicked off in 1968, fueled by a jaw-dropping objective to salvage a sunken Soviet sub, the K-129, from the abyss. The saga began with the mysterious disappearance of the K-129 in the vast Pacific. As tensions between the US and the Soviet Union soared post-Cuban Missile Crisis, suspicions hung in the air. Some whispered of missile engine mishaps, others suspected foul play. The Soviets, hunting for answers, came up empty-handed after 2 months. Abandoning their search, the K-129 and its nuclear payload sank into oblivion. Enter the US. Unfazed and armed with cutting-edge Air Force tech, Project Azorian was born, with a mission so audacious it echoed through the corridors of history. No country in the world had succeeded in raising an object of this size and weight from such a depth, the declassified CIA history proclaimed. The star of this daring show? The Glomar Explorer, a colossal 600-foot ship built for one purpose: deep-sea espionage. Behind closed doors, its mission was to dive into the abyss, snatch the sunken sub, and extract top-secret intel, all while dodging Soviet detection. Now imagine the audacity of this plan. The K-129 lay a staggering 16,500 feet beneath the ocean's surface, setting an unprecedented challenge for the Glomar Explorer. Armed with a giant claw, the ship delicately danced in the abyss, aiming to secure the elusive submarine. Project Azorian defied the odds, successfully hoisting the K-129 partway from the ocean's grasp. But here's the shocker. This deep-sea thriller remained classified for decades, emerging from the shadows only years later. This, my friends, is Project Azorian, an audacious testament to the lengths intelligence agencies would go to gain a Cold War edge. Brace yourselves for a revelation that proves truth is stranger than fiction. Viewer discretion is not just advised, it's a necessity. Stargate Project. In the cloak and dagger world of Cold War intelligence, the Stargate Project emerged as a bold foray into the unexplored territories of psychic phenomena. Born in the 1970s, this enigmatic venture was a direct response to the constraints of conventional espionage methods, a daring leap into the unknown during an era fraught with escalating global tensions. The covert corridors were about to witness a new frontier, where the mind itself became a weapon. Guided by figures like Ingo Swann, a renowned remote viewer, and physicist Russell Targ, Stargate sought to harness the psychic potential of individuals for intelligence gathering. Operations like Grill Flame and Centillane brought this unconventional approach to the forefront, tasking psychic spies with extracting classified information through extrasensory perception. While skeptics questioned the intersection of science and the supernatural, Stargate's legacy endured. Decades later, declassified documents revealed the depth of the CIA's foray into psychic territories. Stargate's Odyssey invites contemplation of the uncharted human potential, leaving us to ponder whether it unlocked the mysteries of the mind or ventured into surreal and uncanny psychic frontiers. The project stands as a testament to the audacity of exploring the unknown, even when it means delving into the psychic and surreal landscapes of intelligence. Surface level. Moving on to level 2 of the iceberg, we're going to be unveiling more shocking secrets, starting off with the infamous Operation Paperclip. In the aftermath of World War II's final curtain, a clandestine collaboration between American and British organizations unfolded, driven by a relentless pursuit of German scientific and technological secrets. As Allied forces seized German research facilities, an unsettling discovery emerged: the Iceberg list, concealed in the most unexpected place, the toilet at Bonn University. Enter Operation Paperclip, a covert initiative with an ominous origin, initially known as Operation Overcast. Its mission? Relocate 1,600 German scientists and their families to the United States, leveraging their expertise to fuel American ambitions in the looming Cold War. Under the watchful eye of the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, the program aimed to tap into German intellectual resources for the development of potent arsenals, including rockets, biological and chemical weapons, all while thwarting Soviet acquisition of the coveted knowledge. Despite President Truman's explicit prohibition of Nazi affiliations, Operation Paperclip's architects played a dangerous game. Evidence of war crimes was scrubbed or ignored as the imperative to secure intelligence trumped ethical considerations. A shadowy alliance was formed, with notorious figures like Dr. Kurt Blomer, an experimenter on concentration camp prisoners, finding refuge within the US government. Moreover, Operation Paperclip harbored a dark secret: its inclusion of scientists who were ardent proponents of racial hygiene and eugenics. These individuals responsible for endorsing and participating in abhorrent practices under the Nazi regime were now assimilated into the fabric of American scientific endeavors, raising ethical concerns that echoed through the corridors of power. Operation Popeye. In a Cold War plot that sounds straight out of a science fiction nightmare, Operation Popeye was the military's weather warfare experiment. Picture this: clouds weaponized to alter the course of history. Crazy, right? As the Vietnam War reached a crossroads, the US Army faced crucial decisions to tip the scale in their favor. Both conventional and unconventional options were on the table, and among the most unusual plots was Operation Popeye. Launched to weaken the Ho Chi Minh Trail, the vital supply route for the Viet Cong, this operation turned the weather into a weapon of war. The Vietnam War presented unique challenges, with battles fought in the dense South Vietnam jungle. The Viet Cong's advantage lay in the Ho Chi Minh Trail, a complex logistics network spanning over 1,000 miles through Laos and Cambodia. The US military's attempts to destroy the trail with extensive bombing campaigns proved largely ineffective. However, rain emerged as a natural obstacle, turning the trails into a muddy mess, hindering supply vehicles' maneuverability. The Department of Defense sought to capitalize on Vietnam's lengthy monsoon seasons, specifically targeting the months of June, July, and August when the heaviest rain occurred. To control the weather and extend the monsoon season, cloud seeding was employed. This process, originating in 1946, involves modifying a cloud's chemical structure using substances like silver iodide to boost precipitation chances. Operation Popeye, shrouded in secrecy, aimed to inhibit vehicular movement along the trail and obstruct traffic during low water period, reinforce bottlenecks created by bombings, and extend rainfall in Laos throughout the dry season. It was believed cloud seeding was relatively more ethical than conventional warfare, intending to slow Viet Cong truck traffic and impair the supply flow without causing significant harm to the population. For Operation Popeye to be successful, it had to be carried out with the utmost secrecy. If information about America playing God and controlling the weather came out, there might be speculation about man-made alterations in other climatic anomalies they had no connection with. The operation details were so secret that the soldiers who got selected to participate were usually kept in the dark until the last minute. Everyone had their own theory about what Operation Popeye was really about. Soldier Howard Kibble said, "I had fleeting thoughts of flying over China, working for the CIA, you name it, but I signed a statement and found that I was going to make rain. Geez, I thought they were kidding." Operation Popeye's sinister reign met its demise amidst a storm of ethical and environmental concerns. A damning expose by the Washington Post pulled back the curtain on the US's shocking weather warfare in Vietnam, triggering a public uproar. As the toxic truth rained down, the program faced its ultimate tempest, officially halting all cloud seeding missions on July 5, 1972. Mother Nature, it seemed, would no longer be a pawn in the military's game of manipulation. Kidnapping of the Lunik. In the murky depths of Cold War espionage, an extraordinary saga unfolded. One that blended audacity, ingenuity, and the pursuit of a strategic edge. Picture a night in the late 1950s where 4 CIA agents, shod in stocking feet, meticulously disassemble a Soviet Lunik spacecraft within its crate. This was more than just a heist. It was a Cold War gambit that risked turning the war hot. As the Soviet lunar program charted the cosmos, the CIA found itself lagging in the cosmic duel. A pivotal moment arose, the birth of Operation Lunik Heist, a daring plan to level the technological playing field. The Soviet Union's lunar program and advancement in space tech intensified the US's sense of urgency. Of course, the US couldn't stand being behind the Soviet in any way. The apparent gap in technological prowess prompted the CIA to initiate an ambitious intelligence program. This effort sought not only to scrutinize Soviet spacecraft but also to predict launches, manage public perceptions, and synchronize American launch schedules. The plan was set, but a more intimate understanding of Soviet hardware was the missing piece. Between 1959 and 1960, the Soviet Union showcased its industrial prowess in multiple countries, featuring a genuine Lunik spacecraft. CIA agents, suspecting the authenticity of the exhibited Lunik, hatched a daring plan to borrow it during transport. The operation commenced on a moonlit night with CIA agents ensuring the Lunik was the last truckload leaving the exhibit hall. With Soviet guards mysteriously absent, the covert convoy diverted the truck to a secluded salvage yard fortified by 10-foot walls. Simultaneously at the rail yard, the guard, oblivious to the missing Lunik, left for the night, shadowed by cautious CIA agents. The truck, now concealed within the fortress-like salvage yard, became the center stage for an audacious operation. Working tirelessly through the night, the agents systematically disassembled the Lunik, documenting every intricate detail on film. The spacecraft, shrouded in mystery, revealed its inner workings under the flashlight's glow. A fabricated Soviet seal, a pivotal element in this espionage ballet, became their key to unraveling the spacecraft's secrets. As dawn approached, the team, like meticulous artisans, reassembled the Lunik. The goal was clear: leave no trace of their covert operation. By morning, the Lunik, seemingly untouched, continued its journey with the exhibit. The Soviets, none the wiser, unknowingly showcased their secrets to the world. The daring Lunik heist yielded invaluable intelligence. Detailed insights into Lunik's construction empowered experts to extrapolate crucial information about the Soviet space program. This covert operation served as a strategic compass, guiding American leaders and NASA in setting ambitious goals and timelines. The Lunik heist wasn't just a theft, it was a game-changer. This covert cosmic caper shows how far the CIA went for intel, reshaping history among the stars. Middle level. CIA and drug trafficking. We're going deeper with level 3 of the iceberg. If you thought the previous cases were horrifying, just wait for what we have next in store, with the CIA reaching new lows, starting with its own drug trafficking operations. When people think of intelligence agencies such as the CIA, they would expect them to be working against drug trafficking organizations, not with them. Well, that is where the twist lies. The complex relationship between the CIA and drug trafficking has been the subject of persistent allegations and controversies. A narrative grounded in real incidents, conversations, and reconstructed events from various sources claims that the CIA has played a role in distorting the American criminal justice system by shielding drug dealers and criminals from prosecution. The allegations suggest a web of intrigue involving federal judges, prosecutors, and the governments of South American countries, revealing a connection between intelligence operations and the global drug trade. The central argument put forth is that the CIA, in its pursuit of geopolitical objectives, has compromised the integrity of the American criminal justice system. Allegedly, the agency has shielded individuals involved in drug trafficking and murder from legal consequences. This distortion, as the narrative contends, has undermined the principles of justice and accountability, raising profound questions about the intersection of intelligence operations and criminal activity. There is also a claim that federal judges and prosecutors accused of violating narcotics laws have enjoyed protection from thorough investigations. This assertion raises concerns about the potential abuse of power and the undermining of checks and balances within the legal system. If true, it suggests a systemic failure to hold those entrusted with upholding the law accountable for their actions. Perhaps one of the most striking claims is that the CIA's support has been instrumental in the rise of South American cartels and the subsequent epidemic of cocaine and crack use in the United States. If accurate, this allegation points to a direct and unintended consequence of covert operations, revealing the unintended impact of geopolitical strategies on domestic social issues. In the world of the CIA and drug trafficking, the story is wild. A messed-up justice system, secret deals, and unintended chaos. If these claims are true, we're talking about a serious shakeup of how we see our spies and justice. It's not just a scandal, it's a wake-up call, forcing us to rethink the lines between protecting the nation and crossing into some seriously shady territory. Acoustic Kitty. In the turbulent world of Cold War secrets, the CIA sought innovation in the most unexpected places. Imagine a world where your cat can become a top-secret covert agent, its feline instincts manipulated for espionage. This is not a far-fetched fantasy. It's the bizarre reality of Project Acoustic Kitty, one of the CIA's most audacious and peculiar experiments. As the geopolitical tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union reached a fever pitch during the 1960s, intelligence agencies were exploring unconventional methods to gain the upper hand. In this quest for unorthodox solutions, the CIA conceived Project Acoustic Kitty, a covert operation that aimed to turn ordinary felines into living, breathing surveillance devices. Acoustic Kitty entered the spotlight when the Soviet Union sent a dog into space aboard Sputnik 2 in 1957. Some people were outraged by the animal cruelty. However, unbeknownst to the public, the CIA was conducting its own animal experiments at the same time. The vision was audacious: implant cats with sophisticated electronic listening devices, transforming them into mobile spies capable of infiltrating sensitive areas and capturing vital intelligence. It was a marriage of nature and technology, an attempt to harness the innate agility and unnoticed presence of cats for the murky world of espionage. To realize this vision, the CIA set out on a bizarre journey. Cats were subjected to surgical procedures that included the insertion of microphones, antennae, and batteries into their bodies, including their ear canals. The hope was to train these feline agents to move inconspicuously through targeted areas, recording conversations with remarkable discretion. The curtain rose on Project Acoustic Kitty in the late 1960s, with the first mission set near the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C. However, the whimsical world of cat training collided with the harsh realities of espionage. Reports suggest that the inaugural field test ended in tragedy, as the Acoustic Kitty's mission was abruptly terminated by a speeding taxi, revealing the inherent dangers of managing living, breathing agents. Despite significant investment in time and resources, Project Acoustic Kitty met an unceremonious end. The unpredictable nature of cats, coupled with the unreliability of the implanted devices, led the CIA to abandon the project in the 1970s. The dream of turning cats into spies proved to be a fantastical endeavor with disastrous and unexpected consequences. This feline escapade offers a glimpse into the world where the line between science fiction and reality blurred, leaving us to ponder the lengths we go for national security in the strangest of ways. The echoes of meows, once thought to carry classified information, are now reminders of a surreal chapter in the annals of espionage history. At least now, you don't have to worry about your cat spying on you. Or do you? Dulce Base. Dulce, a seemingly unassuming town in southwestern New Mexico with no traffic lights, hides a perplexing secret beneath its surface, according to peculiar rumors. These whisperings suggest that beneath the town lies an expansive underground facility where unimaginable experiments and cutting-edge technologies take place. In other words, imagine a whole other underground world full of cutting-edge technology, all operated by aliens and hybrids, all under our nose. Conspiracy theorists spin tales of the Dulce subterranean base, a 7-story complex nestled beneath Dulce, New Mexico. Within its mysterious confines, they allege the existence of human-animal hybrids, human-alien hybrids, and highly advanced technologies, and even assert that it's been the site of extraterrestrial conflicts. Aptly named the Roswell of northern New Mexico, the base is said to house secrets that defy conventional understanding. The roots of the Dulce base conspiracy stretch back to the 1930s. The rumors gained traction in the 1970s when Gabe Valdez, a former New Mexico State Police trooper, documented unexplained cattle mutilations in the area. Valdez, in radio interviews, pointed to peculiar evidence left at the scenes, gas masks, glow sticks, and radar chaff, and questioned the conventional explanations. His wild claims extended to sightings of highly advanced-looking spacecraft and the discovery of bizarre fetuses in dead cows, leading him to speculate about the incubation of alien babies. Tim Anderson, a former police officer in Dulce, added his own account in the late 1990s, describing a UFO that illuminated the entire valley before vanishing into the rocks. Convinced of his sighting, Anderson also threw Bigfoot into the mix, suggesting the cryptid's presence in or near the town. A significant figure in the Dulce base conspiracy is Paul Benowitz, a physicist with a PhD who attributed cattle mutilations to extraterrestrial involvement. Benowitz claimed to intercept electronic signals near Dulce, proposing that they emanated from an underground source and traveled skyward. By the 1980s, he actively propagated rumors of an underground alien facility beneath Dulce, contributing to the enduring mystique surrounding this peculiar New Mexican town. Do you think it's possible for the CIA to be hiding an alien hybrid population beneath our very nose? Montauk Project. In the hushed corridors of covert government experiments and clandestine projects, one name echoes through the annals of conspiracy theories with an air of eerie mystery: the Montauk Project. The Montauk Project, cloaked in secrecy, whispers tales of time travel, mind control, and extraterrestrial communication, leaving a trail of unsettling questions in its wake. In the mid-1980s, 2 authors, Preston B. Nichols and Peter Moon, thrust the Montauk Project into the public eye with their book, The Montauk Project: Experiments in Time. According to their accounts, Camp Hero, an abandoned Air Force station nestled in Montauk, New York, became the epicenter of unspeakable government experiments that delved into the realms of time manipulation, mind control, and contact with extraterrestrial beings. Central to the Montauk legend is the infamous Montauk chair. This monstrous contraption, as described by Nichols and Moon, was allegedly used for conducting experiments in time travel and enhancing psychic abilities. The chair, equipped with bizarre technological apparatus, was said to have subjected individuals to agonizing experiences with claims of time-traveling explorations that transcended the boundaries of sanity. The Montauk Project purportedly involved the recruitment of gifted psychics, often children, who were subjected to mind-altering experiments. These psychics were said to have been trained to harness their extraordinary abilities for military applications, resulting in psychological trauma and nightmarish visions. The grim tales speak of gruesome experiments that pushed the limits of human endurance, leaving a haunting legacy. The project's conspiracy theories extend beyond the earthly realm, suggesting that the government established a portal for communication with extraterrestrial entities. Allegedly, this contact led to a series of bizarre and unsettling encounters, raising questions about the extent of human involvement in interdimensional dialogues and extraterrestrial alliances. As with many clandestine projects, the Montauk Project left behind a wake of disinformation, conflicting accounts, and unanswered questions. Skeptics dismiss it as an elaborate fabrication, while believers maintain that the government's secrecy and destruction of records serve as proof of its existence. The gruesomeness of the project lies not only in the physical and psychological toll on its subject, but also in the lingering shadows of unanswered mysteries. The Montauk Project remains an enduring enigma, a tale that blurs the lines between reality and fiction. Whether a product of imaginative minds or a suppressed chapter in government experimentation, its legacy endures as a testament to the human fascination with the unexplained and the unsettling. The Montauk Project serves as a chilling reminder that in the corridors of power, truth can be as elusive as the shadows that once haunted Camp Hero. Deeper middle level. Operation Chaos. In the sinister tapestry of government secrets, Operation Chaos stands as a dark masterpiece. Imagine a time in the late 1960s when the US government, gripped by paranoia over anti-war sentiments and civil rights activism, unleashed a covert program that surpassed the boundaries of ethical surveillance. Enter the chilling realm of Operation Chaos, a shocking betrayal of democracy that unfolded like a dystopian novel. In 1967, as the Vietnam War raged on, the Nixon administration birthed Operation Chaos. What began as a purported quest for national security evolved into a nightmarish scenario. The shock factor lies in the audacity of the CIA, meant for foreign intelligence, turning its attention inward. Operation Chaos cast a wide net, infiltrating universities, political organizations, and anti-war protests. The scale of domestic surveillance was staggering, with the government compiling extensive files on thousands of American citizens. But Operation Chaos was not content with mere surveillance. It delved into the realm of espionage, planting covert agents within activist circles. Imagine the shock of discovering that your friends, colleagues, and even confidants were unmasked as government informants. This wasn't just a breach of privacy, it was a betrayal that cut deep, leaving wounds that time struggled to heal. Just imagine your best friend or the friendly neighborhood face being revealed to be a spy. Everyone was doubting everyone, and rightfully so. If you thought surveillance was the darkest aspect, brace yourself. Operation Chaos had an actual hit list. Individuals considered threats were targeted with intensified surveillance, harassment, and attempts to dismantle their lives. The shock lies in the deliberate and covert campaign to stifle dissent. It was a chilling narrative where the government played puppeteer, pulling strings to manipulate lives. As Operation Chaos unraveled during Senate hearings in the early 1970s, the shocking truth sent shockwaves through the American public. The curtain was lifted, revealing a government that had not only betrayed its citizens, but actively undermined the democratic principles it purported to protect. Outrage swept the nation, demanding answers and accountability. Operation Chaos, though officially dismantled, left an indelible mark on American history. The shock lies not only in the details of the operation, but in the realization that such extreme measures were not only considered, but also executed. It stands as a bizarre testament to the lengths a government can go in the name of national security, leaving citizens to grapple with the unsettling truth that democracy itself had been compromised. The shockwaves from this chapter in history challenge us to question authority, to protect the democratic principles that should be the bedrock of any nation. Operation Northwoods. Step into the twisted realm of Operation Northwoods, a chilling plot that would make your worst nightmares seem tame. Imagine a government scheme so diabolical, so shockingly audacious, it leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew about those in power. Viewer discretion is not just advised, it's the only defense against the shockwave that's about to hit. In 1992, the John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act led to the declassification of thousands of records from the JFK administration. Among these, a series of documents detailing Operation Northwoods garnered public attention, marking one of the CIA's most infamous plans. The operation, proposed in 1962 to President Kennedy, involved collaboration between the CIA and the Joint Chiefs of Staff with the goal of creating defensible grievances against Cuba, creating an excuse to wage war against Cuba and thousands of innocent citizens. At the heart of Operation Northwoods was a multi-departmental proposal that included false flag attacks on American and Cuban citizens orchestrated by CIA operatives. The intention was to frame the Cuban government, creating a pretext for war. The proposed actions were shockingly extreme, encompassing bombings, assassinations, and sabotage against both American and Cuban civilian populations. Among the proposed actions, the plan detailed sinking Cuban refugee ships attempting to reach Florida, with the intention of blaming the incidents on Fidel Castro. Additionally, a campaign of terrorist attacks targeting Cuban refugee communities across the U.S. was suggested. Guantanamo Bay, a U.S. naval base, was identified as a particular area of interest for false flag attacks, with elaborate plans involving staged riots and saboteurs. The culmination of this false campaign would be the destruction of a U.S. ship, either in or near the harbor. Drawing inspiration from the USS Maine incident that led to the Spanish-American War in 1898, the plan outlined a scenario where an unmanned ship could be blown up near Cuban waters. To enhance the deception of fake evacuation and publication of fabricated casualty lists in newspapers were proposed to generate public outrage. Moreover, the documents provided insight into a range of suggested methods for staging the destruction of aircraft to be blamed on Cuba. One plan involved registering a civilian aircraft, filling it with agents posing as college students, and diverting it to Florida. The remotely flown replacement would then be destroyed near Cuban airspace, simulating an attack for which Cuba would be held responsible. In an additional layer of complexity, Operation Northwoods considered the use of fabricated distress signals and stress signals from a military aircraft, creating a narrative of surprise and innocence on the part of the U.S. The plan also explored the possibility of using non-American sources to spread information about these incidents before the U.S. officially announced them, adding an element of strategic manipulation. The operation's veto took place against the backdrop of JFK's assassination in November 1963. Whether Kennedy's disagreement with military and intelligence officials played a role in this tragic event remains an open question. Operation Northwoods, though never executed, stands as a testament to the extreme measures considered during a tumultuous period in U.S. history. It just shows how far the organization would go to misuse its power to pursue its own selfish goals of war, not caring about the thousands of innocent lives that would be lost in the process. Bottom level. This is where things start to get serious and jaw-dropping. We're at the bottom of the iceberg now. Now is not the time to disappear if you want to find out some of the most shocking, blood-chilling secrets the CIA has hidden from you. In the vast, desolate expanse of the Nevada desert lies a place that sparks imaginations and stirs conspiracy theories, the enigmatic Area 51. Shrouded in secrecy, this mysterious facility has long been linked to the Central Intelligence Agency, but whispers go far beyond covert operations. We're talking about super advanced technology and the extraterrestrial, all shielded from the public. Area 51 is a highly classified U.S. Air Force facility located in the Nevada desert. Its existence was officially acknowledged by the U.S. government in 1997, but its purpose remained shrouded in secrecy. The facility has been linked to the development and testing of advanced military aircraft, such as the U-2 spy plane and the stealth bomber. However, the lack of detailed information has given rise to numerous conspiracy theories. One of the most enduring and sensationalized conspiracy theories surrounding Area 51 involves extraterrestrial technology and unidentified flying objects. Some claim that the facility houses crashed alien spacecraft and that the US government is reverse engineering their advanced technology. Proponents of this theory point to alleged sightings of unconventional aircraft in the vicinity and testimonies from individuals who claim to have worked on such projects. Conspiracy theories often intertwine the activities of Area 51 with the CIA's clandestine operations. Some assert that the CIA conducts secret experiments and tests mind control techniques within the confines of the facility. While declassified documents confirm the CIA's interest in mind control experiments during the Cold War, there is no concrete evidence linking these activities specifically to Area 51. A key figure in the lore surrounding Area 51 is Bob Lazar, who claims to have worked at the facility and witnessed extraterrestrial technology experiments. Lazar alleges that the US government has been conducting back-engineering projects on alien spacecraft. His accounts have sparked debates among UFO enthusiasts, with some considering him a credible whistleblower and others dismissing his claims as unfounded. While the extraterrestrial theories are attention-grabbing, it is essential to acknowledge the real-world activities occurring at Area 51. The facility is undoubtedly a hub for testing and developing cutting-edge military aircraft. The US government's focus on secrecy stems from its desire to maintain a technological edge over potential adversaries, rather than hiding extraterrestrial secrets. Who knows what this technology is used for? Area 51's mystique and the associated CIA conspiracy theories are a complex blend of truth, speculation, and misinformation. The lack of transparency from both the US government and the intelligence community has allowed these theories to persist. It's crucial to approach such claims with skepticism, acknowledging that extraordinary assertions require extraordinary evidence. While the truth about Area 51 may be elusive, separating fact from fiction remains a challenging yet essential endeavor. The family jewels. The CIA has cultivated a long-standing reputation for its involvement in assassination and targeted killings, often sparking controversy regarding the political consequences of such actions. With the immense power it holds, it's no shocking feat for the organization to have someone murdered on the spot without a trace of evidence being left behind. In 2007, a trove of declassified documents collectively known as the family jewels shed light on the agency's extensive involvement in assassination plots during the Cold War. Originally compiled in the 1970s, these documents unveiled the intricate and sometimes gruesome ways the CIA sought to eliminate its enemies. Fidel Castro, the former dictator of Cuba, emerged as one of the primary targets of the CIA's elaborate assassination schemes. The documents detailed numerous plots spanning several years, including a plan to lace a box of Castro's favorite cigars with a potent toxin. While this plan was implemented, the fate of the cigars delivered to an agent remains unknown, leaving room for speculation. In another intriguing plot, the CIA collaborated with Sam Giancana, the boss of the Chicago mob, with operations in Cuba. Giancana suggested introducing poison pills into Castro's food, but despite several attempts, this plan was eventually abandoned. Additional bizarre plans, such as using a hypodermic needle hidden in a pen, were scuttled due to the assassination of JFK in 1967. A plan to conceal a bomb in a seashell was dismissed as impractical. Beyond Castro, the first Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Patrice Lumumba, became another target of CIA assassins. Lumumba, suspected of harboring pro-communist views, sought Soviet aid in dealing with rebels in 1960. Although documents revealed several plans to kill Lumumba, including poisoning his toothbrush, there is no conclusive evidence that these plans were executed. Some former CIA operatives allege the agency's involvement in Lumumba's eventual deposition and execution by rival Congolese groups, but concrete evidence for these claims remains elusive. Perhaps one of the most bizarre and gruesome assassination methods proposed by the CIA was an artificial lightning weapon. Hypothesized in a 1960s document by an anonymous meteorologist, this unconventional plan involved using long, thin wires suspended from a plane or rocket to fly into storms and conduct electrical charges towards specific targets. The document highlighted the potential of such a weapon to burn holes in fuel tanks and damage aircraft propellers, emphasizing its utility in assassinations without leaving evidence of the CIA's involvement. While there is no evidence that this ludicrous plan was ever implemented, it underscores the lengths to which the CIA went in exploring novel ways to eliminate perceived threats. These are just some of the cases we know about. Imagine the other hundreds of cases in which the CIA actually succeeded and eliminated its enemies in the blink of an eye. Enhanced interrogation techniques. In the wake of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, the CIA became a central force in the war on terror, tirelessly combating extremist threats to safeguard the United States and its allies. However, the pivotal role assumed by the agency also raised troubling questions about the methods employed. We're talking about torture methods so gruesome and intense that it would not only send shivers down your spine but shock you to your core at their ingenuity and evil nature. A revealing report, initially released in 2004 under the Bush administration and later revisited with fewer redactions during the Obama administration, laid bare a disturbing catalogue of abuses inflicted upon prisoners in CIA captivity, sparking a profound debate on the ethics of intelligence gathering. The CIA's use of illegal torture techniques, collectively referred to as enhanced interrogation techniques, aimed at extracting confessions and evidence, particularly from al-Qaeda prisoners, became a focal point of scrutiny. The debate over the justification of these methods aside, their undeniable gruesomeness prompted the CIA to resist public exposure of its practices. One of the most notorious torture techniques employed by the CIA was waterboarding. In this method, a captive would be restrained and their mouth covered with a rag before water was poured over them, simulating the horrifying sensation of drowning. The objective of waterboarding was not only to extract information but to induce extreme terror, bringing individuals perilously close to losing consciousness due to oxygen deprivation. Despite its widely recognized status as torture, waterboarding became emblematic of the controversial practices employed by the CIA. Beyond waterboarding, the CIA employed an array of ethically questionable methods. Prisoners were subjected to threats involving firearms and power tools, with explicit warnings that these implements would be used unless the desired information was provided. Mock executions of fellow prisoners, staged to instill fear, were also among the tactics employed. Sleep deprivation, a method designed to disrupt normal sleep patterns for extended periods, was also employed. By depriving prisoners of essential rest, the CIA aimed to weaken their mental resilience, making them more susceptible to interrogation tactics and breaking down their psychological defenses. Detainees were placed in freezing cold rooms without adequate protection, exposing them to harsh environmental conditions. This method sought to break down both the mental and physical resistance of the prisoners, adding an element of physical discomfort to the repertoire of coercive techniques used by the CIA. Psychological torture played a significant role, with interrogators resorting to threats against a prisoner's family members. In recordings, CIA agents operating in the Middle East were heard telling prisoners that their mothers or children could be brought in, or worse, harmed if they did not comply with the interrogators' demands. These methods collectively created an atmosphere of fear, physical pain, and mental distress. The revelations of such practices triggered widespread condemnation and ignited debates about the ethical and legal boundaries of interrogation tactics in the context of national security. Despite the revelations and ensuing public outcry, legal consequences for those involved in the actions detailed in the published documents have been conspicuously absent. The prospect of legal repercussions for those engaged in these controversial actions remains elusive. Project MK-Ultra – Mind Control Experiments. In the shadowy corridors of the CIA office in the early 1950s, one particularly dark and controversial chapter unfolded under the cryptic banner of Project MK-Ultra. Born in the shadows of the Cold War, MK-Ultra was a secret project that sought to unravel the mysteries of the human mind, exploring methods that went way beyond ethical ambiguity. It was the Cold War era, and the United States found itself entangled in a web of paranoia and mistrust. In order to gain superiority over other countries, the CIA sought a weapon beyond the conventional, something that could give them the upper hand in the ongoing ideological battle with the Soviet Union. The goal of the project was clear: to manipulate thoughts, control behavior, and create an army of mind-controlled agents who would carry out the bidding of their unseen masters. Experiments were conducted with ruthless determination, using mind-altering substances. LSD became the elixir of choice for the architects of MK Ultra. Unknowing subjects, often unsuspecting civilians, were drugged without their knowledge or consent. The thin line between right and wrong blurred as the agency sought to push the boundaries of human understanding. The project took an even scarier turn when the experiment started to explore psychological torture. Sensory deprivation, electroconvulsive therapy, and other cruel techniques were employed to break the human spirit and reshape it according to the desires of the experimenters. Victims became little more than pawns in a high-stakes game where the rules were constantly rewritten. But the story doesn't end there. Whispers of unsanctioned deaths and shattered lives still linger in the air. The very fabric of reality seems to twist as the protagonists of this dark tale grapple with the consequences of their actions. The agency, desperate to keep its secrets buried, resorts to destroying documents and wiping the slate clean, leaving only fragments of a chilling narrative behind. What's worse is that no one involved in MK Ultra was ever held accountable for their actions. Project MK Ultra to this day remains a controversial chapter in the history of covert operations, a cautionary tale of the dangers that arise when the pursuit of power knows no bounds. As we close the lid on the CIA's bizarre secrets, remember this: reality just took a wild spin, and the truth is more jaw-dropping than fiction. We've scratched the surface, but the real intrigue lies ahead. Stay curious, stay vigilant, because the world of covert ops is more mind-bending than we ever imagined. And remember to look over your shoulder. You never know when the CIA is watching you, and you're deep